All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So the New York Jets start their joint practices with the Green Bay Packers later this week, August 18th through the 19th. So a nice little 2-day period here. Let's face it, these practices are massive. I cannot stress that enough. These practices are a massive opportunity for the New York Jets to, of course, have that learning experience, but to get better as well. The Packers were literally a potential play away, a potential 4th and goal away from participating in the Super Bowl. Think about that for a second. What an absolute luxury it is for the New York Jets here. An absolute luxury. Okay, so in this one, I wanted to talk a little bit about the 5 things that I'm going to be looking for in these joint practice sessions. And of course, I want to hear your thoughts down below. If you guys can, please drop your top 5 lists as well. I feel like that would be awesome, and I can't wait to see it. So anyway, with that said, let's jump in. So the first thing that I'm going to be looking for here is Zach Wilson going up against the first team Packers defense. This is huge. As we all know, Zach Wilson has had some great training camp practices. He's had some so-so practices. Obviously, the green and white scrimmage game went south pretty quickly, but then he followed it up with a great performance against the New York Giants in the first week of preseason. The only caveat, the Giants didn't roll out, a lot of their talent. James Bradbury wasn't out there. Dory Jackson wasn't out there. Neither was Leonard Williams. There was a lot of guys missing in action for the New York Giants defense. So when we take a look at this Packers defense, they have a lot of talent, despite what the numbers say. I mean, guys like Jerry Alexander, first round pick Eric Stokes. I'm really excited to see what Stokes can do. Who else? Zadarius Smith, one of my favorite players in the National Football League, safety Darnell Savage. The guy's an absolute beast. So the Jets have their work cut out for them, but this is really the beauty behind joint practices. There's no strings attached. There's no win or loss at the end of the day. No, this is practice. This is practice, okay? So, I mean, we hear the term all the time, iron sharpens iron. This is a huge opportunity for Zach Wilson to go out there and to face some studs on the defensive side of the football and to look across the field and see how Aaron Rodgers operates. I mean, this is a guy who Zach Wilson has been compared to really since the draft, and even Jordan Love. And now Jordan Love is kind of a little banged up with the shoulder injury that he sustained in the Texans game, the preseason opener, but I mean, Jordan Love is still a former first-round pick, funny enough, a college quarterback that played in Utah, big-arm guy, a guy who can improvise, a guy who can make plays with his legs, much like Zach Wilson. I feel like these just to be able to be on the same field with those guys will be huge for Zach Wilson. Now, of course, he's not going to be in the same meeting rooms and whatnot, but just to see how one of the best quarterbacks of all time, if you're asking me personally, I would probably have to say in my lifetime, he's probably number 1. To see that guy operate in a 2-day practice session, I think it's going to be extremely beneficial. Okay, Wilson and I don't want to, be that guy that's comparing the first-round rookie quarterback to one of the best guys to ever play the position, but they do have a similar skill set as far as, throwing from different arm slots, effortless arm power, accuracy, quick release, all that good stuff. So, I mean, just to have that opportunity to watch Rodgers, to watch Love, and again, going up against some great players that the Packers possess on the defense side of the football, I feel like it's going to be huge, and it's definitely going to be something that I'm looking for. The second thing that I'm going to be looking for here is how Karl Lawson performs against this Packers offensive line. Unfortunately, I'm not actually too sure on the status of David Bakhtiari. Obviously, he's coming back from the ACL tear that he experienced late last season, but that aside, Karl Lawson has been tremendous throughout Jets training camp, and we know this. I feel like every single day, or every single Jets practice, it's multiple sacks for Lawson. It's like, can this guy be stopped? Seriously, like, is there one day that Lawson doesn't show up? And then we even saw that in the preseason against the New York Giants. Just that first drive, we just saw the acceleration, the burst off the line of scrimmage. I truly believe Lawson will be a problem this upcoming season for opposing offensive lines. But it'll be nice to see Lawson getting after a quarterback not named Zach Wilson for once, but really just to focus in on Lawson's play and just to see if he continues his dominant stretch, his impressive play, and then of course to see if it translates to game day, which I believe is a 4:30 Eastern kickoff, which will be shown on NFL Network too, so that's always a plus. But anyway, Karl Lawson, let's see if his dominance continues. The third thing that I'm going to be looking for here is the Jets' interior offensive line play going up against the Packers' interior defensive line play, because the Packers, they possess a player in the trenches that's one of the best players in the National Football League by the name of Kenny Clark. The guy is an absolute monster. He's a mauler. He'll wreck game plans. He will wreck offensive game plans, okay? So to look at the Jets' offensive line and to understand that the interior is a little bit of a weak spot, okay, when we're looking at right guard, center, it's going to be a big test. It's going to be a big challenge. And again, going back to the fact that it is joint practices, there's no strings attached here. So for guys like Connor McGovern, Greg Van Roten, the backups, the second teamers, the third stringers, to have this opportunity, I feel like it'll pay dividends for the guys, specifically the starters. And when we take a look at how the Jets' interior offensive line did against the Giants on Saturday, yeah, we don't have a ton of depth. We don't have a ton of talent there. And Elijah Vera Tucker did not play. But this interior offensive line looked pretty good. Like, we have to face facts. That was a solid outing. Okay, so can this unit stack up back-to-back solid performances? It'll be interesting to see. I really hope they can. The fourth thing that I'm going to be looking for here is the Jets' pass defense. Okay, specifically looking at the corners, Bless Austin and Bryce Hall. Both of those guys have had pretty solid Jets training camps so far, and we looked pretty good in that first preseason matchup against the Giants. But Aaron Rodgers is a whole different animal. Okay, we're going up against Rodgers, Jordan Love, Devontae Adams, Funchess, Lazard. Bless and Bryce have a big test over this 2-day period, and then of course on game day as well. But man, they can get a lot of experience going up against some of the best talent in the National Football League here. Okay, so for these young corners, and really we could take a look at the entire room here, Pinnock, Michael Carter, Eccles. I mean, he got a lot of time in the preseason matchup as well. I mean, the entire Jets cornerback room is filled with youth to go up against some veteran players on the Packers offensive side of the football. And then of course Rodgers. I mean, you cannot ask for a better practice. You cannot ask for a better test run. You're literally going up against the best of the best here, elite talent, the cream of the crop. So if Bryce Hall and Bless Austin can have big days August 18th or 19th, I mean, can you imagine what that would do for not just the Jets coaching staff, not just the Jets defense, but for the confidence level of those players specifically? Bryce Hall's going into year 2. Bless Austin's going into year 3. If they can put out solid performances against Rodgers, Love, and this Packers offense, it will be huge. It'll be huge. So that I'm really honing in on that. And last but definitely not least, the fifth thing that I'm going to be looking for in these joint practice sessions is the performance of Denzel Mims. This whole Denzel Mims situation is just such an anomaly. I just feel like it's such a weird case study at the end of the day. I mean, this guy was productive year 1. He didn't have a training camp. He didn't have preseason. He missed the first chunk of games due to injury his rookie year. He comes in with not a lot of offensive help, not the best offensive line, not the best quarterback throwing to him, and he still made an impact. He instantly leapfrogged the entire depth chart. And I mean, yeah, we had, of course, Adam Gase, and, we've seen the argument that Denzel Mims, hey, he might not be the best offensive fit in the Mike LaFleur system, but I disagree. I do feel like Denzel Mims can contribute in this offense. And the Jets, of course, brought in Corey Davis, and they have similar skill sets, but I feel like Denzel Mims can play. I don't want to give up on Mims. I don't want to trade him. I don't want to bury him on the depth chart. I want to get this guy involved. And when his number was called Saturday against the Giants, he stepped up. 3 catches, 51 yards. Carrying multiple Giants on his back and continuing to pick up yards, gain momentum, and move forward. That's what you want to see as Jets fans. So whether Mims is rolling with the 1s, the 2s, or maybe even the 3s, I'm looking for production from Denzel Mims. I want to get this guy involved. I want to see Denzel have a positive impact for this offense, because I really truly feel like Mims can be that beneficial player. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. And as always, go Jets.